welcome, and please.
Thank you very much. I think it's very nice to be here. I think I have a very, very long history with COIMA. And I think what's evident is that the future of urbanism here is in good hands. Listening to the great speakers today and also the wonderful work that the universities are doing. But my question is, how are we going to get there? How are we going to do this? And I thought today I would share with you a little bit of the thinking that's going on within a small part of our studio, particularly in our PLP Labs. And this slide, I think, says everything to me. It's probably the most humbling slide that I've ever looked at. It shows the relationship in the biosphere between us as a species and the other ecosystems that we share. And obviously, we represent a very, very, very small part of the world that we share with everyone else. But we have a massive, massive impact on it. And if we continue to do what we're doing, we will soon spiral out of control. And basically, we operate on this assumption. 10 years ago, I set up a laboratory called PLP Labs. And basically, it was set up because of these 5 words. Our world is not okay today. And we need to do things differently, and we need to begin to change. And if you look at this, I don't think anybody here is drinking out of one today. You basically get about a 2-hour use out of this. And it takes about 700 years for it to go back into the earth. And we're waking up to more and more of these sort of things every day. Climate change, climate disasters, no water, too much water, destruction, mass things. And these are taking place in parts of the world that are least prepared, least able to do anything about it, and are, in fact, going to be the most populated places, urban environments in the world in the next 20 years. But the reality is, in our business, in our world, we do things very, very, very slowly. And it's no longer good enough. So this is my challenge to everyone today. This was London in 1916. And finally, 3 years ago, we had this form of urban mobility in our system. So very, very slow. In 2015, we did carbon neutral in operation buildings. In 2025, we will build a building that will largely have its facade made of bio-based materials. And our aspiration for 2035 was to do a zero carbon building. It's not going to happen. And so I want to share with you now, very, very quickly, a small piece of a film that's been released earlier today in Asia as part of the work we're doing on environmental awareness with a series of the Asian governments. And this is a small snippet.
In 2023, temperatures across the globe have reached a new record high. Consecutive record-breaking temperatures, extreme flooding, and deadly impacts of resource scarcity are a reality. It's no longer a prediction. Since 1970, Asia Pacific saw over 120 disasters per year, averaging 3,200 deaths and 3.8 million in damages per month. There is no going back. We're living it. Linear development contributes to 38% of annual carbon emissions. We design, we extract, we build, we demolish, and create waste. We need to stop extraction and instead harvest.
So my question here to everyone is, can we grow the next generation of our building materials? And the answer has to be yes. And I'm going to very, very quickly share with you a few things that we're doing and that others are doing. 10 years ago, we did this hypothetical project. It's a 300-meter tall timber building. And in 2 hours today, the European forest will grow enough wood to build this building. It's feasible, and it's set off a pattern of the use of timber today. Today, we're exploring other types of uses for timber in our interiors and in our environments, collaborating with brilliant minds, scientists and fabricators from around the world. And the fact is, these things make really, really nice places for people to be. And you can literally create environments that are all made out of natural materials that come from the earth. One of the other things we're doing is we're looking at materials that grow. And this is some of the work that our lab has been doing with mycelium. Now, we've taken this to another level, and I'll share you some of this stuff from other. This is mycelium, if it gets going, growing in one of our laboratories. And in a moment, you'll see some of the work that we're doing to basically try and turn this into a proper material. So we figured out a way to use waste to create molds to mold the material. We figured out a way to cure this. We're not doing this alone. We're doing this in collaboration with the University of Cambridge. And through this work, we've basically discovered that this material can be used as a structural material. And I'll go quite quickly through this now. But the wonderful thing about using natural materials is eventually, if you don't control them, they'll take over. And so it's just a reminder to everyone here that the day we stop, nature will find a way to cure all of the things that we've done to it. But in the meantime, we have to use it to help. So we're looking at ways to do this, turning it into real building materials. Last week, I spent a week in Taiwan touring factories of our clients to use waste material to make building materials. And other people are doing the same with hemp, with algae, with sugar, and obviously with timber. So my challenge today is, for everyone here, it's a rallying call for the scientists and the entrepreneurs in the room to help us build a future of a built environment that relies on nature.